Hello.
How you doing, Jaycn?
Good. How about you?
Exhausted. I'm gonna be honest.
Fair enough. It's been one of those days.
Yeah, I would say so. A lot of chatting, but yesterday was a little slow, so I'm like holding kind of. Well, it wasn't. How do I put it? It's been a little uneventful, so it feels more draggy than it would otherwise.
Gotcha.
Yeah. How have you been?
Good. Good. Getting back into the swing of everything.
Okay.
Can't complain though.
I want to try to get you up to speed with a bunch of things, and then kind of give you opportunity to ask any questions because it's been a lot's happened. This was kind of like when Danger wanted to fill you in on some things. Like my immediate concern was like, well, Danger knows like 10% of what's happening. So
Okay.
yeah. So love Danger though. He's been fantastic. So after everything that happened with Bruce, and I think it's important to say that I think he was the catalyst, right? And I think a good one in the grand scheme of things. It's kind of like it's kind of like when a fucking rat pops out of a hole, right? You can be really pissed that there's a fucking rat, get rid of it, and be pissed that there's even a rat, I don't know, in the kitchen to begin with, which I've never had a rat in the kitchen before, but yeah, you get the meaning. Is that at least it let you know that, I don't know, maybe there's a fucking den of rats outside that you weren't aware of. And now that you checked, you found it. And that's kind of how I see Bruce in all of this. At the end of the day, I don't think he took that much in the grand scheme of things in relation to how much we have access to. And it drove me down reassessing the court center, its original intent, and evaluating the current parts market. What started off as a let's have a new website turned into much more. I want you to go ahead and go to leviathancapital.me, which note that link is not for everybody. And the reason for that is it's not like, well, it is a secret, but it's kind of a bit of a secret just so I don't want to ruin the, the surprise for the majority, right? While things are still underway. And
gotcha.
As we test things, I want it to be in a good place before, so we're not dealing with having to, have fucking IT customer support or whatever.
Gotcha. I am looking at it.
All right, fantastic. So kind of keep that on the side for a moment, and I'm going to point back at it.
Okay.
So the first thing I said is, all right, so this whole situation happens, right? And more conversations came out of it. Apparently this guy's been fucking people over even just as bad as he has with us. My original thing when I told, Harry and Luciano and all of them is like, listen, like, I'm not going to sit here and tell you what to do with this guy, right? If you X him, that will make me happy, because to me, this wasn't about stealing from the cabinet, stealing from the county. Money doesn't matter. We fucking cut those checks. It's that he literally utilized there's no civilians left. There is no business is hard to come by. He leveraged the one opportunity, the one thing, the beacon of that. And this fucking guy just decided to try to destroy all that, or could have destroyed all that just for himself, right? Well, as I started to ask around about prices, because I wanted to understand, how bad was this market, really? Freely, people started telling me about Bruce Baylor and all the insane shit he did. And so as with anything, I like to verify information because as much as I hope, you know, he dies, if someone says something about him, even if it's useful to, even if someone says something that I might just, I'm not just going to agree just because I have a problem with the guy.
I know what
right?
you mean. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, Jimmy, is that you?
I actually learned that this guy was like marking up shit. The long and short of it is,
that was insane.
this guy with all the money he made as a doctor. Oh my God! I forgot. It's been like a week and a half, right?
Yeah, just about.
The shit I heard, a lot of which is verified, I think it's worse than you and I would have even originally imagined in front of Mission Roll. So, this guy is sitting on tanks of cash and had been for some time, right? First it was from being a doctor. And then it was the 12 properties he owned, right?
Right.
And then was the price gouging from it. Even today, he's got 6 properties. But one of them's like, one of them might even be right there. It's somewhere on this, along this thing. And then, what he then did is he dumped it into crypto, right? Now, there's laissez-faire, which I don't fully agree with, but then there is like extreme monopolization, which is kind of what he did. I want you to imagine for a moment, I will say that he's not smart. He's just a grinder. And I don't even think he recognizes what he did. But effectively, by buying all the bet at a higher price than others, right? And due to availability, you now are the only one seeing what's available, right? And you in turn control the product. I'm going to give an example. Is if Walmart decided that they were going to buy all the Goodyear tires, right? And they were paying $50, like, I don't know, 10% more, 20% more than any mom and pop. Well, by doing so, you now have exclusivity to Goodyear because Goodyear is just going to give you all the tires, right? Not just Goodyear, but maybe the other brands. And now these other mom and pops, they're not even going to be able to sell it because there's like a fiscal monopoly on it, especially the buy-in, because the buy-in is millions to do what he did. It's not like 5 million. It's a lot of money. And I know this because I got the data now.
Okay.
But now that you've got a fiscal monopoly, right? And effectively no one else can do what you're doing, right? You then say, I'm the only one that does this. No one else wants to do this. No, suck my dick. No one else can do it. Why? Because in order to have those things at that level, you have to spend a shitload of money to know even what things should be valued at. And then it gets worse. Because you have the supply, you then price gouge, right? So a Goodyear tire, let's say, would have retailed for $100, right? But now
and
Walmart,
you put it up to 200.
Well, no. Let's say that's how much Goodyear's willing to sell it to people. But then Walmart comes and says, I'm going to buy it for $150 each. Well, now mom and pops can't do that. They're like, what the fuck? Well, now Walmart's got all the Goodyears for $150. Then they go and say, you know what? We're going to sell it for $300. That's effectively, like, in simple terms, what he's done. I will not for a moment believe that he did that intentionally or knowingly. I don't think he's smart. Like, it's slimy. I don't think he fully understands the macro grasp of what he did. Does it kind of make sense?
I gotcha.
Yeah. I think he understands the micro of his sleaziness, But I don't think he understands the macro of it, because I think he is self-convinced that no one else wants to do it. He's just edged them out. So with all said and done, this is also what I've been hearing from other parts dealers, be it Miguel, be it Dildo, etc., who intentionally sell things for as they should be, let's call it. So what, in order to verify this, I bought up some bet, and it started as kind of like a meme, not a meme. It wasn't meant to be a long running thing, where I was just going to open some boxes and sort of verify the statistical, sales prices. Example, you got a box. It has one of two things in it. One of those things is worth $100, or let's say $0 for sake of making, right? And the other item is $1,000. I see what is the chance of getting a $1,000 item? And then based on its probability of pulling it, what is its true price, right? Given the price of bet and the chance of getting something, what is its actual price? Kind of like Pokemon cards.
Right.
Obviously, there's other things, demand for a certain thing because it's utility or whatever, but we'll ignore that for a sec. And that's when I realized you need to dump millions to figure it out. And that's when my gears started running in my mind. I started getting obsessed to bring back what quartz was meant to be. And that obsession was more, not so much for any other reason than the drive to make things better. And this is where I've landed. How do we make quartz a valuable asset for the county? Number two, how do we continue to support small businesses? Number three, how do we push out dog shit, price gouges? Number four, how do we drive a new line of business? And here's what I came up with. I don't know how I got to this stage, but here we go. Quartz Center used to be Amazon back in the day. Amazon used to sell everything. You wanted pots and pans, you want some books or whatever, you want a brand new, you want a TV, they got it. Amazon's selling it, right? Amazon doesn't sell shit anymore. They sell things for other people.
Yeah.
We have a availability issue. Who's going to stand around a Quartz Center? That was part of the issue. We can have events occasionally, open up the doors for an hour or so. But that's not a bad thing. I think that can still happen, but it still means that we could be sitting on millions of dollars of stuff in the warehouse, but we got no employees to sell it. So, unintentionally, and realizing afterwards, I realized Quartz Center needs to, in order for its best success, and I don't think monetarily I could give a fuck about that. It's all subsidized. It's going to be like Amazon is today, or what it turned into about 10 years ago. It will be a marketplace for businesses. Now, if you go back to that website and you go ahead and log into your Quartz account, that login is a single sign-on. What that means is, be it Leviathan Capital, be it Quartz Center, it's one login.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and click your username and go ahead and click the application portal.
Got it.
That login can be utilized for other applications. Right now, it's just Quartz and Leviathan. It can be other things. Some of these things that I may not even put up myself, which is a separate topic I'm can't really get into just yet. But previously, you remember the layout of Quartz. This is completely new. That stuff, the entire thing's thrown away. I just asked to maintain the logins. Entirely brand new team. A lot of connections I reached out for making this possible. But if you hit Quartz Center, that portal right there, which is going to be closed out to you at the moment, because it has not opened up for, let's say, management level review. You're no longer going to have a brochure of all the things that Quartz Center is going to sell. Instead, we are going to maintain a listing of all things, what their prices are, and we will still have things available to sell here, right? Some handful of things that make sense. But instead, the Quartz Center is going to be more of a dropship model, more of a logistics business, such that everyone's store, ones that you might want working in the different like booths or whatever, can have their own, like, you know how DoorDash looks like? Like, you know,
Yes.
It's going to be like that. Is that if they have a registered business in Los Santos County and they are authorized, right? We don't have to give them this access. Is they are going to be able to upload their logo for their, you know, thumbnail. You're going to see, you know, I don't know, what are some businesses? You'll see Project R. You'll see Manx's Motors. You'll see, you know, the cupcake shop that someone just opened up recently. You'll see all of their stores there. They will be able to add things to their inventory either directly or they can pull it from our inventory, right? So if you got a mechanic shop, you can just slap in all the things that you got. It maintains their inventory. If they want us to sell things on their behalf, they can leave it here. It'll be in the, you know, their stuff. If somebody in the city wants to go buy like a stage 5 or like is looking for food, right? That's not at the food. They'll literally just be able to search and the stores will, like, you know, filter down.
Okay. I like that.
If they go and work at the Quartz Center, right, on those days, their store's already there, right? And so they can use the same, actually, a much better transaction system, which is being worked on, some of which is leveraged by the Leviathan app, allows them to do the transactions and have that history already baked in. You get what I'm saying? So
wonderful.
It's a very different model, and furthermore, the MOPEC thing, right? We have the MOPEC, and then we have the materials and the materials hype in MOPEC. No. Instead, there's going to be a MOPEC store, so it's going to have the store prices. It'll already have them set at the subsidized rate, and that store will be whitelisted, which means that when a normal person goes to that store, they may see it, but they may see a banner and say restricted, right? Apply to MOPEC or something on the thumbnail, like an overlay on it, right?
Gotcha.
But
Perfect.
those that are whitelisted can click it and do their orders, right? What does that also mean? Now, how does this deal with the parts shit? Parts are fucked. Parts are fucked because we got like fucking Walmart.com, you know, scuffed Walmart over here, like just fucking people over. So I said, fuck that shit. Like, this is like worse than the material crisis, right? Like, if people are getting fucking hyper price gouged over, you know, this guy's, you know, fucking 2 years of like G6 trucks and like fucking yoinking fucking properties, you know what I mean? Like, we're not gonna, whether it's him or whether it's the next guy, right? It's an issue. Every mechanic shop in the city will have access to wholesale car parts. What does that mean? Because we know how much the value of things are at a, you know, at the rate of what it is truly worth, right? We're going to sell at like maybe 5%, 10, add some labor on top of it. Any mechanic shop will have direct access to wholesale parts. They don't have to worry about the bet. They don't have to worry about the unboxing. They don't have to worry about the numbers. They will literally know that the price that's at the court center, whitelisted to proper mechanic shops, they can take those parts and they can sell it to their customers. So when you go to Prodigyrp, when you go to Manx's Motors, when you go to the one off El Rancho Boulevard, you go to Elite Motors, it's not just are they going to give you a two across. They can say, hey, you want me to fix your vehicle parts? Hey, do you want new tires? They're going to be able to go in and sell to their customers not just the service, but they'll make a profit, because if a yacht cost $300,000, but the street's paying $400, we're going to give it to them for $300. They can go sell it for $400,000. You know what I mean? So there'll be like a baked in rate.
Okay.
So effectively, with that entire thing, kind of similar to Mopec, a little bit different, right? Is that we got the stockpile. These shops can come in and buy like 2 of these, 5 sets, whatever, and then sell it to their own customers. We don't need to sit there all day. All these independent shops can sell it, right? And provide the service to the city. And it's similar to Mopec in the sense that there were no mechanic shops left. Mopec came in and fixed the material crisis for them. And
right.
And now I want to take it another step forward. Where owning a mechanic shop literally is you can do this full service shit. So, but there are other things that I have in my mind, but this is kind of the most immediate relevant sort of thing. There's a lot of I'm glad I can finally think about things outside of legislation. I'll put it that way. And my mind's been churning, and it's so far things are going really well.
Awesome.
So, any questions thus far, or concerns, or whatever it might be?
I don't think so. I know Rissa reached out to me because I was going to make some manuals for Court Center, but I'm going to put a pause in that because this is going to change all of that documentation.
Yes.
So I'm going to wait until it gets a little bit more completed and then work on the documents.
Mm-hmm.
So I will let her know that. And then
yeah, I have kind of told her that pause, we're doing a full restructure. Started with a restructure of replacing Bruce. It's turned into the entire thing. We're flipping it upside down so that it can scale, right, on human resources and logistics. So,
then my other questions that I asked Charles, and he wasn't quite sure of the answers, or maybe I just didn't understand what he was meaning, was for Leviathan. But I know you haven't really gone through that yet, so I don't know if you have anything on that before I ask my question.
Leviathan is a separate entity that is a private business that I own that is mostly going to be focused on right now it's bet, but I have a lot of other plans, which
gotcha.
For now it's just leveraging the trading platform, which effectively what that means is so the whole like brokerage shit is very, very, very complex. I have hyper simplified it. So effectively when you go to leviathan.me and you see that landing page where if you could go ahead and go to the Leviathan page real quick.
Got it.
So when this becomes like publicly consumable, anybody that is leveraging this stuff can go and see what is the current market price, what is like the street price, right? but then there will be the price that Leviathan is willing to purchase. And underneath that is a list of brokers that I have vetted. Individuals that I believe are capable enough to handle like the buying and selling and doing the transactions, making sure things are documented, etc., etc. And there's an entire system in the background that is tracking everything that they do. So what that means is I've effectively created a brand new job, which is called the brokerage, right? A broker. So today people are just slinging this shit on the street. Now it's an entire like investment platform. As time goes on, because I have to dedicate my time, you know, accordingly. This thing came as a consequence of, hey, there's a missing gap here. What are we going to do? I'm going to sit around just advertising, buying bet on fucking Yellow Pages all day. Instead, I said, let me take this a step further and let me build an entire fucking investment company on top of it and have it handle the logistics. So that's effectively what that is. And
okay.
So it's a separate entity from Quartz, but it's effectively a partnership, right? And what that separation allows is, you know, 6 weeks from now, you know, Joe Blow becomes the mayor or something or whatever happens. We're not sitting there with our, you know, sitting there being like, oh, hey, here's like access to the website. Smile. And then they refresh it and it's like 404. You get what I'm saying? Like,
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it becomes if in the future someone decides that they want to defund the court center, right? Which is entirely a reality. Or, you know, whatever may happen. At the end of the day, these are my assets, right? So I wanted to separate it such that if we get like the worst case scenario take place, this thing can still continue. You know what I mean?
And this is something you were working on before you decided to run this term as well. I mean, not as in depth, but you were starting to plan it. Yes.
Yes, that is correct. So,
okay, wonderful. That actually answers all my questions.
Yep, absolutely. As to what extent it goes, who knows? It may turn out that this may be the end of it. But I've got like you probably know me well enough now, Jaycn. I've got like 50 ideas that I've got sitting on the table at the same time, and each one I kind of push the lever up as need be. So, but I could see, based on success, I like to invest more. And right now, this is going so fucking well that I genuinely think, irrespective of, you know, mayorship or not, this is a new job and there's more to come. And I know I'm being vague, but, you know, I like to have things a little bit baked before, you know, showing it off.
100%. Yes. No, I like this. It's going to go great.
So beyond this, I mentioned to you that application platform, right? There are other things planned. Some of which are mine, some of which are for Leviathan, some of which are other entities, let's say. And the general idea here is, like, for example, one thing that I really want to spruce up down the line is an events calendar, because I need it anyways, and if I'm on the site, I might as well have a way to track my meetings. When is this happening? When is that happening? I know there's one in the city, but it's kind of you know what I mean? It doesn't do that much.
Yeah.
But also send event invites, which you can kind of do, but I mean, and then some. You can see on there, hey, this is happening in the city today. There's like, you know, this person's wedding, or yo, there's that thing happening on the island, and there's this and that. And it's going to be a very expressive calendar, if that makes sense, right? So,
yes. Yes.
and others can publish their events on there, and others can see it, and it's going to be a whole thing. So you can put you can put your personal things on there, but equally, it's like an advertisement for shit happening in the city. So, so there's a lot of these like little things that are going to bake a lot of, not only drive to Leviathan, drive to the court center, drive to this calendar, but it can expand further. Like I was joking with Sab earlier. I was like, we can have like a fucking Blarney's crypto gambling on there as well. You know what I mean?
I bet he was excited.
Hey, dude.
I think, given that he hasn't seen what I've seen, he probably thinks it's some like random bullshit, but no. Those sort of things are entirely possible. It's just, once again, it's gonna, a lot of what is gonna be put on there is gonna be my time, my interest, and what we think the city is gonna be interested in, you know? So.
I think the calendar is a great idea because, yeah, I see the signs hanging up everywhere. Oh, this is happening on this day, but I never remember that, no matter how many times I see it. So having someplace I can look and be like, oh, that's happening today, let me get ready and go there is, for me, going to help me be able to go to a lot more events.
Sorry, I was responding to Sean. Yeah, I absolutely. Like I sign all this shit off for events, and I myself forget. Like if no one's reminding me today, I'm not gonna remember.
Exactly.
Other little features that I'll tell you about is if you go to the brokerage page right now. Do you notice anything under the brokers?
Is that their state IDs?
Yep. Oh, do you have food and drink by any chance?
I do, yes.
Just realized that I've been eating today.
Yeah, man, I can't wait to go on vacation and hit up some of those Mexican honeys.
There you go.
Awesome,
hear
thank you.
that click?
I always buy extra.
Oh, you know, that's smart. You never know, you know?
I mean, I love America. Red and blue, titties and
So, yeah, that is their state ID. Notice anything else?
The check mark?
Uh,
Oh, the red and the green. Is that when they're
Yep.
in the city?
Yep. Well, kind of.
Okay.
It's when they're logged in. So, and that's going to keep getting
Okay.
advanced. That same sort of system will be on every store. So a store can have their employee list, right? So imagine, and based on who is active, their store is going to be higher in the listing. So you could have 100 stores, but there's only 3 stores that have employees around.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
And that also is going to apply to the court center, right? Like, just go to the site. Oh, boom, 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 right? Like, even today, like, these people that are buying and selling right now, and we've been buying and selling a lot. They go on here, they're like, oh, Marlo's around. Ring, ring. Oh, look, Charles is around. Ring, ring. You know what I mean? So think of it as like Yellow Pages on crack with a storefront and transaction system, right? And furthermore, we will have a thing baked in where those sales guys can turn on the notifications. So, you know, you got it in the background of your phone. Someone will be in the future be able to make an order and be like, brrr, you know?
Oh, that's cool.
Yep. Like pending call, pending pager. Like it'll probably be, I haven't figured it out yet, but it might be like a pager or something. So you can page them, right? Now, so a big part of this being like, you got to drive a lot of traffic, which then in turn means, you know, you may be kind of like 50% on the fence of whether you're going to use Court Center because of that. But now you got a calendar there too. But now you can do crypto too. I mean, hell, maybe there's even like, you know, all kinds of other shit. You know what I'm saying? So,
right.
and this is something that once it's in a good spot, I'm going to see if we can, you know, get on our tablets, hopefully. So, which that conversation hasn't happened yet, just so you're aware, but some parts of it has, but you know, I don't, you know, we'll see what happens with that. I'm assuming it won't, but I'm hoping it will. So, anyways, yeah, lots been going down.
I am excited for it. I'm glad things were happening while I was gone because I was worried that everything was just gonna kind of stall out for a while. But with all of this, I'm glad it all happened.
Yeah,
as much as we didn't want Bruce scamming us and all of that, I think it did turn out for the best.
Yeah, it's like, you know, it's like, yep, I agree. Yeah, absolutely. I think it required, look, the reality is that courts has been a nightmare to run without a register system. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And it's like, okay, well, if this isn't going to happen, how do we make it work? And I think this is it's going to be sick. You know, dealing with 5 mechanic shops for this, easy. Boom. There you go. And then they can deal with, you know, it's an umbrella effect. It's kind of, if you think about it, it's like the Leviathan brokerage, right? There's 5 brokers. They all have people under them who are probably buying for less, and it all filters up. And Quartz is using the same model, but in the opposite direction. Is we give big lots of parts at low costs to all the mechanic shops and let them go and make the 20% on top of it.
Right.
So, all right.
You better have a damn
Well, shit.
I
I think that's everything, but it's definitely not everything. It's just,
Imagine my surprise.
I have to remember what
Your shit anymore.
I haven't brought up. So, anyways.
I've already been working on the Oxy Moonshine stuff.
Yeah.
I've got some base numbers, but I need to talk to a few more people before making any final edits on it. I did verify with Jackie, though, that the person getting the prescription can pay up to $5,000 to the hospital for the prescription. That is on top of what they pay for the Oxy.
Yeah, I think it's important that we have those things right, because it needs to make sense and we need to be able to speak to it. Otherwise, it will be viewed like we're subsidizing gang equipment. Kind of very similar to what we're saying with moonshine, right? Where it's like, well, moonshine is going to be for alcohol licensed folks, blah, 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 whatever it might be. And you get what I'm saying. It's got to look right.
Oh, yeah. Exactly.
Oh, man. All right. Well, how's your time been? Good?
It's been good. Yeah. Nothing too crazy yet. So hopefully it stays that way. I know
Okay.
it won't.
Yep. Yeah, it's been pretty good. Actually, it's been quiet over the weekend, which I don't like too quiet. Too quiet's like shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, something's building.
Oh, it's significantly easier to make vegetables now.
Yes, that did happen before my vacation. So that's been amazing.
Okay. All right, awesome. Anything else you want to chat about?
I don't think so. I think that
Okay.
was everything I had.
All right, easy. I think anything else that I need to, I'm sure will come up in mind. But
Okay.
yeah. All right, easy. All right, well, Jaycn, I appreciate you. I'm gonna go and
Of
like
course.
relax, do some things, you know, stretch my legs, all that. All right.
Enjoy. I'll see you later.
You as well. Move closer to the engine.